Hello, Americans. I am Jerry Mandering, and I am running for Senator of Missouri in 2022. I have no backbone, no morals, and no heart, but I need to trick my constituents into believing that I do. When I'm elected into office, I plan to do nothing except improve my golf swing. I want to get to a high enough political power where I can punch Josh Hawley in the face without facing any repercussions. And to do that, I need a perfect political advertisement. And that's what I'm going to do today. To do this, I will need to do 3 things. This is my abstract. First, I'm going to research previous political ads and see how I can improve upon them with my stellar wit. Second, I'm going to decide on what my political beliefs should be to get me the most votes. And third, I'm going to craft the perfect political advertisement using filming techniques and my raw power. Now, if I'm going to run in Missouri, I should study advertisements from Missouri, right? Let's look at one of my favorite advertisements, Josh Hawley's Driven. It was made in September 2018. This is, frankly, a masterpiece. Every single part of this is perfect, from the camera work to the script to even the cadence of his voice. I don't know how he did it. Genuinely, I could spend 30 minutes talking about this, and the only reason I'm not doing this is because there's a hard limit of 12 minutes on this video. So let's go sentence by sentence through this advertisement. It's only 30 seconds, it won't take that long.
We've got 2 perfect little boys. Just ask their mama.
So this first sentence is great. It shows that he promotes family values. You'll hear family values a lot in ads from around this time period, because it's a buzzword that means nothing, but people like families and they like values.
Earlier this year, we learned our oldest has a rare chronic disease, a pre-existing condition.
So here's another thing. He doesn't say what rare chronic disease his kid has. So whichever rare chronic disease you think of, which will be the one that has the most importance to you, is the one that this kid has. You know, way to use your sick child as a political tool. Couple more things about this shot. You may realize that everyone is wearing red, white, or blue. And also, notice how the kid is running towards the camera while the rest of the family is still playing. They're subtly saying that if we don't deal with his pre-existing condition, he will be away from the family, in that he will be dead.
We know what that's like. I'm Josh Hawley. I support forcing insurance companies to cover all pre-existing conditions.
He doesn't support this. Literally 7 months earlier, in February 2018, he was one of 20 Republicans in support of a Texas lawsuit against Obamacare. And if the lawsuit went through, it would have brought back the ability for private insurance companies to choose not to cover pre-existing conditions. Woo! So, useful tip, you can just lie in your political ad. Now, these next sentences mean nothing, but they're the best part of the ad. Check this out.
And Claire McCaskill knows it.
Okay, Claire McCaskill knows it.
You deserve a senator who's driven to fix this mess.
What mess?
Not one just trying to hang on to her office.
What?
And that's why I approve this message.
I can't stand this guy. Let's move on to something else. Let's find one that wasn't made during the Trump administration, that was made recently. For this part of the video, we're going to be looking at the website of Eric Schmidt, who is running for senator on the Republican side. Now, he doesn't have any ads, but his website says more than enough. Here's just a couple of snippets from his website. I have them on my phone. Radical left, liberal takeover, save our values, our culture, and our country. China purposefully and with malice of forethought unleashing the virus on Americans. And he always refers to China as the Chinese Communist Party. Oh, here's a good one. Glaring illegal actions involving our sacred elections. The unbelievable and unconstitutional actions of the Pennsylvania courts. This writer loves adjectives. Eric stridently opposed the radical left when they tried to stop the confirmations of Justices Brett Kavanaugh. And here's my personal favorite. We need more fighters in Washington willing to stop the radical cancel culture agenda being advanced by the left that is destroying lives and suppressing speech. Eric is ready to take the radical left's cancel culture movement head on and protect our values. What a guy! I guess I'll have to come up with some equally insane things to say during my ad, because apparently that's just normal now. Now, before Trump, when politicians would run for office, they would be super adamant about family values and buzzwords, but they'd be really wishy-washy on the main things.
Let's talk fracking. Everyone has very strong opinions about it, and I want you all to know, right here and right now, I am taking a stand. I am on your side.
I'm fighting for you. But now it's, I'm fighting for you against them, your fellow Americans. Now, since there is a pandemic going on, I will need to mention the pandemic. So I'm going to take a note from literally every advertisement that happened for the few months when the pandemic was still new and scary. Here's a compilation I found online.
Family.
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 Family. Family.
Family.
Family. Family.
Family. Families.
Families. Families.
Even now.
Especially now.
Especially now.
Right now.
Now more than ever.
More than ever.
Today, more than ever.
Today, more than ever.
In times like this.
At times like these.
During these difficult times.
In these troubled times.
Challenging times.
Trying times.
Now, I know this is companies doing this and not politicians, though advertisements are just selling a politician as a product, so I can do the same thing, who cares? Here's the part of the video where I pull out my phone, so that way I don't get statistics wrong. Now, there's a reason I'm choosing Missouri even though I live in Pennsylvania, and that's because Missouri's congressional districts are really weird right now. And by really weird, I mean really gerrymandered. Now, I'm gonna say gerrymandered this whole video, because my name's Jerry Mandering, and I don't want that to mess with anything, because I'm not in support of gerrymandering unless it benefits me, which it will here. Now, Missouri previously, prior to losing one congressional seat due to population loss, had a 50-50 split between Republican and Democrat areas. And now, on this new map, 6 out of 8 of the regions are Republican. The 2 that aren't are the ones that contain St. Louis City and Kansas City. The Kansas City one looks like a dead lizard. And I'm not just saying that. That's a quote from a judge. Now, this is horrible. And were I not a slimy politician just trying to punch Josh Hawley, I'd be furious. But because I'm gerrymandering, I'm just going to take it as it is. So I know that if I want to win, I'll have to run as a Republican. Because of the false consensus effect, if I don't say a specific thing about myself, people will assume that I think like them and that I believe the things they believe. So, if in this ad I never mention the fact that I'm in a relationship with a man and that I am half Jewish, white Republican voters will assume that I'm straight and a good Christian boy, especially given that I look like I would be. Oh, but Jerry, you live in Pennsylvania. You can't run in Missouri. First off, it's Mr. Mandering, okay? Get it right. Secondly, Josh Hawley doesn't even live in Missouri. He lives in Virginia and uses his sister's house in the Ozarks to vote as a Missourian. Don't tell me what I can't do. I'm crazy. Now that I'm done talking about gerrymandering in a psychology final project, we can finally start working on the advertisement. Now let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. I'm wearing red right now. In the video I'm going to wear blue to show that I love America. I'm filming it outside in the daylight to show that the sun's rising on a new future for Missouri. And I'm going to base my script off of Josh Hawley's Driven ad, as well as using a ton of buzzwords and just saying insane lies, because that seems to work. And then I'll say stuff like unprecedented times and now more than ever. Oh, but Jerry, how are you going to film this? What methods are you going to use? Good question. Fantastic question. You want to know why that's such a great question? Because that's how I'm justifying this as a psychology project. I found a really cool study, and I want to talk about it. You being above me like this, pointed down, gives a sense of powerlessness to me, like there's nothing I can do. But up here, I have power over you. How does that make you feel, huh? My hair's in my face. Moving backwards indicates weakness, in that I am literally shrinking from view. And when I'm up here, it feels very personal and emotional. Americans read from left to right, so when I walk left to right, it indicates progress and forward movement. Going from right to left, on the other hand, creates a sense of uneasiness. There was a study done in 2012 by Cleveland State University that proved that fact. Researchers showed 50 people this clip. It's a girl in her apartment, and then a man suspiciously walks by. She's concerned, she walks up to check it out, and then she looks from left to right, and that's the whole thing. And then the researchers asked the group a bunch of multiple choice and short answer questions to ascertain how they felt about the film. Was it good? Was it bad? Did it feel strong? Did it feel superior? Did it feel weak? Did it feel inferior? Then they did something different. They showed another group of 50 people the same clip, but everything was reversed such that all left to right movements became right to left movements, and asked them the same questions. You know what they found? They found that right to left movement increased the audience's negative reactions. That's cool, right? Those that saw the left to right film were more likely to say that they liked the film, that it was strong, and that it was interesting and good. While those who saw the right to left film were more likely to say the opposite, that the film was bad, it was boring, they didn't like it, and it was weak. Here's the data. The top row is left to right, the middle row is right to left, and the bottom row is the total. There's also a p-value there for fun. I know how you love p-values. Though honestly, I don't think this study needed to exist. All you need to do is look at any adventure movie from the past 60 years. Like in Lord of the Rings, every single shot of them traveling is them moving from left to right. It shows forward momentum. This is something that's ingrained in the brains of people who read from left to right, which is most people who make films in Hollywood. In fact, it's already happened once in this video and you didn't notice. In the Josh Hawley ad, you can see that the beige blurry background behind him is moving super slowly to give the illusion that he's moving from left to right, even though he's just standing still and blinking a little too much. That's weird. He's weird. So with all this in mind, with our historical knowledge, our advertising knowledge, our political knowledge, and our psychological knowledge, I am proud to present my political advertisement. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you vote for gerrymandering in 2022. I've got one clip art image of a boy. Just ask his mama. Recently, we found out that he has a physical or mental or developmental illness or disease, a currently existing condition. I know what that's like. I'm gerrymandering, and the radical left brick-and-mortar offshoring 5G redline liberal media communist party cancel culture family people immigration jobs. Jesus Christ paradigm shift election integrity economy blast processing Nintendo millennial common core. Now, more than ever, healthcare event horizon HTML5 freedom of speech Ronald Reagan war on terror Democrats the wall Mexico. The left is up to something. I can lift 800 pounds with one finger, and I've never told a lie in my life. And that's why I approve this message.